Grandfather Paradox. If you use a time machine to stop your grandparents from meeting, you would prevent your own birth. But if you were never born, how could you have used the time machine in the first place? Achilles and the tortoise. Achilles is a fast runner and gives a tortoise a head start in a race. Every time Achilles reaches the spot where the tortoise was, the tortoise has already moved a little forward. This process repeats endlessly, making it seem like Achilles can never catch up. Ship of Theseus. You own a ship, and over time you replace every single part of it. When none of the original parts remain, is it still the same ship? If you build another ship using the old parts, which one is the original? Bootstrap Paradox. You start with a heap of sand. If you remove one grain at a time, at what exact moment does it stop being a heap? Barber Paradox. In a town, the barber shaves everyone who does not shave themselves. So who shaves the barber? If he shaves himself, he breaks the rule. If he doesn't, then according to the rule, he should be shaved. Catch-22 Paradox. You can only get something if you don't need it. For example, a pilot can avoid dangerous missions if he is insane. But asking to avoid those missions proves that he is sane. Fermi Paradox. If the universe is extremely large or infinite, intelligent life should be common. So why haven't we seen any signs of aliens? Opposite day paradox. If someone says, "Today is opposite day," is that statement true or false? Simpson's paradox. A trend can appear in separate groups of data, but disappear or reverse when those groups are combined. This means the overall conclusion can be opposite to each individual conclusion. Tolerance paradox. Unlimited tolerance allows intolerance to grow. Eventually, intolerance destroys tolerance itself. For a tolerant society to survive, it must not tolerate intolerance. Bootstrap Paradox. A time traveler gives a young Einstein a book explaining relativity. Einstein publishes it as his own. So who actually wrote the book? Stockdale Paradox. Believing you will succeed very soon can reduce your chances of success. But believing you will succeed eventually, no matter how long it takes, increases your chances. Jevons Paradox. When technology makes using a resource more efficient, people often use it more. As a result, total consumption increases instead of decreasing. Olbers Paradox. If there are countless stars in the universe, why is the night sky dark instead of bright? Paradox of thrift. Saving money is good for individuals. But if everyone saves too much, spending drops and the economy slows down. Unexpected hanging paradox. A prisoner is told he will be executed on a weekday, and that it will be a surprise. By reasoning through each day, he concludes the execution cannot happen. Yet it still does, unexpectedly. Value paradox. Water is essential for life, yet it is cheap. Diamonds are not essential, yet they are expensive. Pinocchio paradox. If Pinocchio says, "My nose will grow," a contradiction appears. If his nose grows, he was lying. If it doesn't grow, he was telling the truth. Hedonism paradox. The more directly a person tries to achieve happiness, the less likely they are to find it. Crocodile paradox. A crocodile steals a child and promises to return the child if the parent correctly predicts what it will do. No matter what the parent predicts, a contradiction occurs. Sword and shield paradox. What happens when a sword that can cut anything strikes a shield that can block anything? Dichotomy paradox. To reach a destination, you must first go halfway. Before that, you must go a quarter of the way. This creates infinite steps, making motion seem impossible. Arrow paradox. At any single instant, an arrow in flight is motionless. Since time is made of instants, the paradox suggests the arrow never truly moves. Grand Hotel paradox. In a hotel with infinitely many rooms, even if every room is occupied, new guests can still be accommodated. Card paradox. One side of a card says the sentence on the other side is true. The other side says the sentence on the first side is false. Liar paradox. If someone says, "I am lying," the statement contradicts itself. Grain of millet paradox. One grain of millet makes no sound when it falls. 1,000 grains do. How does nothing become something? Boltzmann brain. It may be more likely for a single brain with false memories to randomly form than for the entire universe to exist as we know it. Paradox of enrichment. Increasing the food available to an ecosystem can cause instability and even extinction. Service recovery paradox. Fixing a problem extremely well can lead to higher satisfaction than if the problem never happened. Stability, instability paradox. When two countries both have nuclear weapons, major war becomes less likely. But smaller conflicts become more common. Ironic process theory. Trying not to think about something often makes that thought stronger and more persistent. Paradox of choice. Having too many options can increase anxiety and reduce satisfaction. Birthday paradox. You only need 23 people in a group for a 50% chance that two share the same birthday. Schrödinger's cat. Before observation, a particle exists in multiple states at once. If a cat's life depends on that particle, the cat is both alive and dead until observed. Twin paradox. If one twin travels at extremely high speed through space, time slows down for them. When they return, they are younger than the twin who stayed behind. Friendship paradox. On average, your friends have more friends than you do. Raven paradox. Finding a black raven supports the idea that all ravens are black. But so does finding a non-black, non-raven object, like a green apple. Temperature paradox. If the temperature is 90 degrees and rising, is the number 90 itself rising? Interesting number paradox. There cannot be a smallest uninteresting number. If it existed, it would become interesting for that reason alone. Irresistible force paradox. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Lottery paradox. It is reasonable to believe any specific ticket will lose, but it is unreasonable to believe that no ticket will win. Preparedness paradox. The better we prepare for disasters, the less serious they seem afterward because the damage is reduced.